It's We Talk About It Now, and with Marisa out of town on her way to Disney World, we're going to show you some unseen footage. Who talks about it? We talk about it now. Thank you for watching another We Talk About It Now. I am your host, Joe. This said in the quick intro, Marisa is actually lucky and on her way down from slushy New York City to Orlando to go to Disney World for the week. So go Marisa, she'll be back next week. So while she's out, we thought we'd go ahead and show you some scenes that you didn't get to see these last 2 weeks because to try to keep the videos down to a shorter time, we cut these out. So up first with a topic about New York City, and it relates to cell phones that we cut because, again, to keep the footage down, but you'll hear when it kicks off, I say we're not going to go into it, but this also happened, and then you'll hear we ended up going really into it. So enjoy.
Into it, but also tied with that story was that he lifted the ban on allowing students to bring cell phones into schools.
I'm a teacher, and I'm going to tell you that I have a lot of things to say about Mayor de Blasio, and I'm a Democrat, but I'm going to tell you straight up, I got a lot of things to say about Mayor de Blasio. The idea of bringing your cell phone to school, I can't talk about it.
I don't have a problem with it.
No, I have a huge problem with it.
So
it's another thing for me to deal with.
I've never been a teacher,
and I'm in the
so
public
my
school
opinion
system.
is so biased, but I come from a mentality of it's a behavioral issue if you're letting students use it in your classroom and you don't want them to. Fix the behavior. It's not the cell phone that's the problem.
Absolutely. And in a perfect world, absolutely. But I have kids. I got issues that are just...
this again so she gets more
I'm
on camera.
I'm out of the camera. Listen, I got people... I'm teaching kids that have babies. I'm teaching kids that have kids. Okay? I'm teaching kids that don't show up to class, that when they are in class, their attention span is about this big.
So really, do you think cell phone's the biggest issue?
So...
What's...
No, my issue...
Have you already...
no, but I have... What I'm
saying is... The cell phone
is,
isn't feeding or not.
But to add it in there, it's another thing for me. So my good kids are going to be good no matter what. My good kids are not going to bring the cell phone. I'm talking about my kids who I'm already and maybe I'm making progress with. Now this is another thing I have to tackle. That's all I'm saying. My good kids are going to be good no matter what. But my kids who come in and are towing the line, it's another thing I got to talk about. Maybe I'm wrong, but we'll see.
What also brought me up in the news was kids are going to cheat on tests. No offense. If you're a teacher and you don't notice that a kid is taking the time to stare at his phone, type in his phone, to Google search an answer to a question...
Right, no, those are not my issue. Well, I also teach theater, so...
Look up and pay attention.
Right, no, I agree. Those are not my issues.
Because if a kid has time to cheat using his cell phone, God bless him, he deserves the grade.
I guess that's not my issue with it.
You're being creative.
No, I agree.
Okay.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'll report back and I'll let you know, in April, if I feel like my kids are glued to Subway Surfers or if they're paying attention. I'll let you know.
Yeah. So, that's what hit the news in New York City this week. And
Thank you, Mayor de Blasio.
This next clip is also from the episode from January 10th where we were talking about what had recently happened in Paris and terrorism, and I took the hard stance of basically got out of Dodge and we need to stop being so diplomatic with countries that support terrorism. So why on that particular Saturday I had such a strong opinion on the topic is earlier that week I had watched a movie. We cut this original explanation again to help keep that episode down. So here I go into a deeper explanation of why I take such a hard stance of basically get out of Dodge, or if you help support terrorists, I will consider you a terrorist. So here you go.
For them try to get them. But if you're living in a country that you know supports terrorism, then you're a terrorist to me. Get out.
I don't think you're a terrorist.
And really what solidified this opinion is... I watched a movie with Missy, my roommate, called The Good Lie. And it was really eye-opening to the problems of the world. It really was a good movie. But in essence, it was about Sudan refugees.
Right.
And they were children to get out of the wars and attacks that were happening to them in Sudan, walked over 400 miles, barefoot, across Africa.
To escape.
Fighting off animals. To escape. They first started going to I forget where, but then found out the attack started there, so they had to change directions, and then they found a herd of people. To go to Kenya. And it's they end up coming to the States, and watching their acclamation was it was genius, it was funny, but also wow, people really don't know what they don't know, and they don't know that there's a difference out there.
Yeah.
But if these kids had to walk 400 miles plus barefoot across Africa to save their lives. You got a car. And you live with terrorists.
But you might not have a car. Then
get to walking. You probably have shoes.
Oh my God.
These kids didn't have shoes. They literally fought off 2 cheetahs to get food. I mean, come on. Those are people I'll support.
Yeah, I'm not totally saying that you're wrong. Like, I get the idea that, like, we have to start thinking of some other options when it comes. No, you're
just over
terrorism. I mean, clearly we have to be dealing with it. I think the problem when it comes to the other civilians that are around, I just think it's just such a complex issue.
I know it's sensitive, and I know
of course.
I know we really can't go in and just kill people because their neighbor's bad, but
there is something. But with that being said, I think we definitely have a serious problem that we have to look at.
And this final scene is from last Saturday's episode on the 17th, Martin Luther King weekend, and it was our conclusion to talking about Martin Luther King and the all amazing things that he did for this country. However, it had to be cut because you'll hear there are 2 times that my cell phone goes off because I apparently forgot to put it in Do Not Disturb, so it got cut from the original episode. It's also our original closing, which we had to redo. Also because of the cell phone. So I hope you enjoy what was the original ending to last Saturday's episode on the 17th.
I agree.
Absolutely, because he was
I think he started a movement that made a lot of good progress and somehow has gotten a little off track.
Yeah. No, it's
he did it in more of a positive, encouraging way instead of an angry, hateful way that I feel some of the most prominent black speakers now, like Al Sharpton, take.
I don't think that Martin Luther King was interested in it being any sort of glamour. I don't think he was interested in being perceived as a glamorous figure. I think he was out for the truth and to speak the truth and to do what he thought was going to be best for himself, his family, his country, his people. And I think that is different from what Al Sharpton's after. And I'm as liberal as they come. And I'm here to tell you. So so you know. And also, you also wanted to tell everybody, on another even lighter note to leave it, that Daniel lasted 2 days as a vegetarian, correct?
Yep, got an update. Mentioned I didn't know why I was doing it, but he apparently let us know.
That's okay, Daniel, you tried it. That's fine.
To support his husband, he said he'll do it when they eat together.
That's fine.
But when he's not with Frank and eating, that he needs to do his thing.
That's like Eric, too. Like, Eric and I have changed.
Daniel's come back to
That's all right.
the good side.
Eric will eat, like, certain things with me, but he would never do on his own. Ever. And that's marriage, I guess. I don't know. All right, cool.
Oh my God, and I totally almost forgot to mention this when we talked about it, so I got to do it quickly. Sorry. Angela's did go to the website. Thank you so much. And do you feel like looking-in girls are like the grandchildren of Sex and the City? Are they just the next movement and generation of those?
Yeah.
We'll leave it with that.
Cool.
Always comes back to Sex and the City.
As everything should. All right, guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so while Maurice's not here, you still got to see her in these deleted scenes. She'll be back next week, and we'll have all new footage for you, even though this technically it isn't new for us, as it was already recorded over the last 2 weeks. And as usual, go to WeTalkAboutItNow.com. Please start following us on Twitter at WeTalkNow. You can also like us on Facebook at We Talk About It Now. And as always, please, 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 please subscribe up there. Click the little box if you haven't already. We've been stuck at 80 subscribers for a while, and it really means a lot to us if you subscribe. So also, if you think your friends would enjoy it, share it with them. So for today, it's not really a we, it's just me, your host Joe, and I hope everyone has a great week.